Hi guys, it's Sherry. I hope that you are having a fantastic day. Y'all, let's do some fun, no adhesive required paper crafting. Stay tuned. So welcome to everyone watching this video. I really do appreciate you supporting me and my channel. I know that you have options when it comes to what you're going to watch on YouTube, and I appreciate and value the fact that you are choosing to spend some of it with me. Thank you so much. And as promised, we are going to do some no adhesive required paper crafting. We are going to make a box and a lid without using any glue or tape. None whatsoever in the construction of this box. And the process that we'll be using, you can use this process to make all types of boxes. And isn't this one just gorgeous? And this would be perfect as a little something to your bridesmaids if you're planning a wedding or if you're doing baby shower planning. This is a great little box that you can make without any adhesive. So y'all know what time it is. It is time to get started. All right, guys, so before we have a closer look at today's project, I wanted to bring in the vaccination card holders that we made in a previous video because there was an excellent suggestion from TGranny7, and she suggested that along with having your vaccination card in your holder, that if you have any special medications that you're taking, that you also think about writing those down on a separate card and including it with the vaccination card. That way, if you're ever in a position where you need to remember the medications that you're taking, storing it with your card, you'll have all of that medical information in one place in case you ever need to access it or someone needs to access it for you. You won't have to guess what medications this person is taking. Or if you happen to be in a stressed state of mind, you won't have to try to remember which medications you're taking. So thank you so much to TGranny7 for that awesome idea. Now here's a closer look at the project that we're going to be making today. So we are going to be making this 4x4 by 3.5 inch box with a lid, and we are not going to need any adhesive to put this together. So here is what we're going to need to make today's project. I am using this beautiful paper from Prima. It's from the Diamond collection. I showed you this pad earlier, and there were several pages in there that I'm not too crazy about, but I'm going to use them in today's craft because I think we can make this work. These were actually two of the pages that I am not too crazy about. I do like the print of this young lady, but in order to get her centered, I had to sacrifice one of the pages that actually had her in color on the other side. And that's okay because we are going to end up with something that's very nice and very presentable to anyone that you would want to give it to. So here's what you're going to need to make this project. You're going to need one piece of 12 by 12 decorative cardstock, and you need to have a medium weight to a heavy weight because we're not going to be lining this box with chipboard. And then for the lid, we have a piece that measures 8 1/8 by 8 1/8. And then here's the secret to how we're going to put this box together without adhesives. You guys have seen me do this process over the 2.5 years I've been on YouTube. We are going to use some of my favorite mini brads to put this box together. So let's make this. So we're going to start with the box, and we're going to score at 1/2 inch and at 4 on all 4 sides. So that's 1/2 inch and 4. 1/2 inch and 4. 1/2 inch and 4. And while I have my scoreboard out, I'm going to go ahead and score the lid. We are going to score this 8 1/8 by 8 1/8 inch piece at 1 and at 2 on all 4 sides. So that's 1 and 2. 1 and 2. 1 and 2. So now we are simply going to fold and burnish all of our scores. And don't forget those little 1/2-inch scores that go around all 4 sides. So in making our box, we are going to remove this panel, that little corner piece, and that piece. And we're going to do this on all 4 sides. So the only pieces that will have the fold over flaps will be those center pieces. So all the way around, we're going to remove those corner pieces, and you'll see what I mean as we do this. So I am just going to go up and cut straight down, and then I'll remove this piece as well. And I'll do the same thing over here. So I'm going to remove all of this, and then I'll remove this piece. And you guys see what I've done here. So on this end, I have removed all the corner pieces and simply left that piece. That's what we're going to do all the way around. So we're going to remove everything except our center outer tab. So see, we have it on this side, we have it removed. On this side, that's all we have. On this side, that's all we have. And then on this side, I'm going to go ahead and remove my final piece. And this is what your piece should look like when you're done. So now we're going to take this piece, and here's what we're going to do. So we're going to take it and we're going to push in on this piece. So let's push in, and as we're pushing in, we're going to bring up this piece and just bring it forward. And once you have it brought forward, it's going to look like that. We just need to go on the inside. I'm going to do it with my fingernail and get that placed down. I'll do the same thing over here. So you can see, here's my score. Even if you just take the 2 sides and start pressing, that middle is going to want to naturally fold. So now just take your finger, grab this piece, and bring it up, just like that. And again, we'll just go on the inside and crease that. So you can see on the inside of this box, I have a crisscross. We'll do the same thing over here. So when you're holding your box, my box is like this. If I bring up this piece, and then I take my hand and I bring up that piece, it's going to fold naturally. So then all I need to do is lay it down, go on the inside, and crease that. Now we need to come over to this side, and I'll do it just like this so that you can see what I'm doing overhead. I have my hands right here on both of these. That point is pointed towards me. If I take my hands and I bring this up, you can see how that naturally wants to fold up. So just let it fold up and then go on the inside and just crease it. So you're going to be left with this. You'll have these points all the way around. So all you need to do is fold in, so that you're folding in so that you'll have that outer flap that you can now take and fold over. So we'll do that again. So it's like this. Just bring it up, push it in, and you can fold over that outer tab. So now all we need to do is I am going to grab my little mini brads and my paper piercer, and I am going to pierce a hole from the front through this piece. So I'll be going through all of those layers that I just folded over. So I'm going to punch this hole. Try not to stab myself. So there's my hole, and I'll take my mini brad, and now I can lay that down. Hopefully you can see that. And I'm just going to use my little tool here to spread out my brad. And I think this is from We Are Memory Keepers. So I'll do the same thing over here. I am just going to punch my hole all the way through. I'm going to take my mini brad, and I have my mini brad in there. Now I can just lay this down. Use my little tool here to separate those prongs and flatten them out. And then I'll come over to this side, and I'm going to do the same thing. So when I come over to this side, I'm just going to squeeze that in, bring it up, and fold that outer piece over, just like that. Now I can punch my hole, going through all layers of my paper and not my skin. Take my mini brad, put that mini brad on the inside. I'll come over to this side, do the same thing. I'm going to punch my hole, get my sweet little mini brad, and use my tool to open that. And now you're able to see that we're almost at the point where we have a finished box. So now I can take my 2 remaining flaps, fold them over, and I'll add a brad there. Come over to this side, do the same thing, use my little pokey tool to go in and very carefully poke a hole without poking through my skin. Now we're going to take this piece and do the same thing. So I like using this method with my mini brads because I think the mini brads just add some cuteness to the construction of the box. Now I can just go around, make sure I've got everything flattened out. And now I have my little box. One of the things that I like to do is go in that opening. You can round that opening just a little bit because I think it adds just some additional cuteness to the box. So I'm just going to round a little bit. Do the same rounding over here. And so now we have our box. We're going to make our lid. So we have already scored our 8 1/8 by 8 1/8 inch piece at 1 and 2 on all 4 sides. I'm going to go ahead and just fold and burnish all of my scores. I am going to remove the 3 corner pieces on all 4 sides as well. So this time I'll go up to that second score mark, drag straight down, come over to this side, go up to that second score mark, drag straight down so that I can free up this piece. Then I can angle in, here, remove this piece, and then reduce that piece. Do the same thing over here. I can angle in, remove that piece, and reduce that piece. And then I'll come over to the opposite end, go up to the second score mark, drag straight down, go up to the second score mark here, drag straight down so that we can free this piece. Then I'll angle in, trim, and reduce. Same thing over here. I'll angle in, remove, reduce. Then I'm going to come back to these two pieces here, and I am going to just do a slight angle on this part only, on that bottom flap. So that'll just make folding this in a little simpler. So I'll take this tab, we're going to fold it up, fold that in, and we're going to apply brad. So I'm going to go ahead and just fold those two in, and now we're going to apply our brad. So all I'm going to do is punch me a little hole and go through that same process that we did on the base. So I'll open this piece, come over to this side, punch me a hole, try to match my placement. And have I ever poked myself with that tool? Absolutely have. Many, many times. So we'll have our two brads in just like that. Now we'll come over to this side and we're going to bring these tabs in, this piece up and over, just like we did on the opposite side. So let's go ahead, punch a hole for that brad. And now we'll take these pieces and do the same thing. So I am just going to use my tool to punch a hole. And we'll do this on all four sides. So let's go ahead and open this one. And then we'll place our last little brad. And so now that we have our lid, I am simply going to take it and put it on my box. And you can see what a beautiful little box we have. This is just such a neat little way to make a sweet little gift box. So the last thing I'm going to do is I'm going to place down this beautiful little flower, and I have a piece of ephemera that says beautiful. I did add just a little bit of tape to the back of that, but that has nothing to do with the construction of the box. The box was constructed completely adhesive free. So I am going to place my flower down right there. Take the lid off so I can make sure I get that flower nice and stuck. So we're going to place that right there. And then I'm going to take this little tag that says beautiful, and we're going to put it right there. And I do think that that is beautiful. So I brought in the first one so that you can see both boxes, and both boxes were constructed without any adhesive at all. And we also have a nice decorative element to the construction of these boxes, because now we have the brads and it almost looks like a little rivet. So guys, I hope that you have liked this project. If you have, please hit the like button. If you are not a subscriber to my channel, I would love to have you join my online crafting family. You guys, as always, please be safe, be kind, happy crafting, and we'll chat later. Bye.